Raoul Wallenberg was born on August 4th, 1912 on Lidingö outside Sweden's capital, Stockholm. His father died just a few months before Raoul's birth. He grew up to an independent and responsible person. When he was young, he traveled around the world and visited his grandfather, Gustav Wallenberg. He was a diplomat and businessman. Raoul's family had big hopes on him and he wanted to live up to that.
Wallenberg wanted to educate himself to architect, but instead he traveled around and discovered the world because of his eager to learn. Then he worked in Haifa in Israel with Jewish families who had found asylum. He was touched of their stories about systematic persecution and pogroms.
During the Second World War, Wallenberg was back in Sweden. He saw a film about persecuted Jews who fled from the Nazis. The film made a big impression on him and he wanted to make a difference and help people in distress.
Hungary introduced anti-Jewish laws. About 18,000 Jews executed because they couldn't prove they were citizens. It got worse. In 2 months it came 437,400 Jews from Hungary to Auschwitz-Birkenau to execute.
During 1944, the world started to realize that the eradication policies wasn't okay. The President of America, Franklin D. Roosevelt, created the organization, the War Refugee Board, to save the Jews. VRB asks for help from Sweden and Wallenberg got the assignment to save as many Jews as possible, a dangerous and hard work.
The Swedish legation distribute protective passports to Jews so that they could get a provisional citizenship in neutral Sweden. By bribed Hungarian officials, Wallenberg managed to get permission to produce more and more. Wallenberg and his employees take off to distribute food and save those they could.
In January 1945, the Nazis' terror is over. The 17th of January 1945, Raoul Wallenberg embarks to the Soviet headquarters in the Hungarian Debrecen. He never returns. Raoul Wallenberg was only 32 years old. The Russian side claimed that he died in the Lubyanka in Moscow, July 17th, 1947, but no one knows for sure.